Mainly we will be focusing on two areas here. One is what are the various biotic factors and what are the abiotic factors. Biotic means we have studied in our high school classes, living things like plants, animals, etc. Abiotic means non-living things. So a pond is influenced by several living factors as well as non-living factors. That is what we will be discussing here. And these factors will be affecting the growth of the fish, reproduction of the fish, and productivity. Productivity, how much amount of fish can be obtained. So all these are actually controlled by biotic factors as well as abiotic factors. Now the main biotic factors here you can see that one is the how species are interacting with each other. In that category, we can see there are three types of relationship. One is predation. Predation means presence of predator. For example, if there is a fish, we had a fish here last year, we were not covering the fish. Now what happened after a few months is that this hook crane, they come and visit and they were catching a lot of fish. So predation can be an important factor in affecting the productivity of a pond. So this way how the productivity is actually controlled by the presence of predator. Now another is competition. Competition means if many types of fishes are there, they will compete with one another for food and space and also for oxygen. So that there will be more competition means more strain on and more stress on the species. Then another factor is symbiosis. Some species may be helping each other. And that kind of relationship is known as a mutualism or symbiosis. But there is another kind known as parasitism. You have studied about parasitism. So that one species will be suffering, other will be always benefiting. So these are the various type of species interaction. Another factor is the presence of disease and pathogens. So many bacteria, virus, fungi, all these can affect the productivity of the pond. If there are any fungal or bacterial or viral disease, that can lead to what happens is that less fish will be finally reaching the adult size. Then the composition of the feed and nutrition. For example, nowadays the fish feed production is an important business. Because if you give the fish very poor quality feed, what happens is that most of the time the fishes will be having different sort of diseases and they may not grow properly. So nowadays this fish feed itself is a multi-billion dollar business. Only if we give fish proper type of feed, they will be growing faster, healthier, and also reach very good size. So that is importance of fish feed. Then social behavior of the fish also an important thing. Then aggression, dominance. And nowadays usually what we have observed from our pond is that when we give the fish a feed, most of the time the fish have a hierarchy. The adult fish will come and eat the feed first, then only other fish will be eating. So usually in a pond what happens is that few members will be reaching very large size. Other species, other members may be remaining very small. This is the usual observation. So this is because of the dominance hierarchy. Some members will be always dominant and they try to get all the food resources. So this is happening in almost all the ponds. Then genetic diversity will be influencing the disease resistance, growth efficiency, and also the success in the reproduction. These are some factors which are controlled. Now coming to abiotic factors. So here one is water temperature. Water temperature has a direct influence on the metabolism, growth as well as reproduction. If the temperature is not suitable, they may not be growing properly. If the temperature is very high, normally in our pond the temperature will be around 25 to 30. But if it is above 35 degrees centigrade, fish may not be able to grow. Then dissolved oxygen. Normally, most of the pond will be having a dissolved oxygen level of 6. But if it is very low, for example, if it is around 2 or 3, there is not sufficient oxygen for the fish, so they may not be able to grow. So that is one factor. So dissolved oxygen can lead to hypoxia. Hypoxia means fish is not getting sufficient oxygen, and that can kill the fish also. So then dissolved oxygen can also influenced by temperature, salinity, and how much amount of organic materials are present. Another factor is the pH and alkalinity. pH means normally ideal pH is 6.5 to 8.5 in the neutral range. And what happens with the pH is that they will be affecting the enzyme activity, osmoregulation, as well as the survival of the fish. So pH is an important factor. Then we have salinity. Coming to salinity, the importance of salinity is that they are very important for osmoregulation. How much amount of salt is present in the water? That is an important thing. And they have specific, for example, some fish may be able to survive easily in a salt water. Some may not be able to survive properly in salt water. So sudden changes in salt water concentration can lead to stress for the fish. Another factor is the light and photophilia. Coming to light, light will be regulating the feeding as well as the growth as well as the reproductive cycle. So what we can do is that we can give artificial, when there is poor light, we can put artificial light, and this artificial light can influence the growth of the fish. So these are some of the factors which are affecting the growth of the fish. Then similarly nitrogenous compound. Nitrogenous compound means nitrogen containing. Most of the time they are ammonia, nitrate and nitrate. All these are toxic compounds. So if their concentration is increasing in the pond, that will affect the growth of the fish. So that way it can lead to different type of problem. Then turbidity as well as turbidity and suspended solid. Turbidity means how much amount of particles are like soil particle. If too many soil particles are there, the color of the water will be yellowish or reddish. So then, and the penetration of the light can also decrease. So that will be affecting the photosynthetic activity of the plants. So that is in a water there will be a lot of algae will be there. Too much amount of soil particle prevent the passage of light, so that the planktonic organism, aquatic plants, they may not be able to undertake proper photosynthesis, so they will not be able to live. So that is the problem of turbidity and lot of solid particles in the water. Then water flow and circulation. So a good water flow means a lot of oxygen. Good water circulation means oxygen content in the water will be more. Then poor circulation can lead to stratification. Stratification means in a water there will be different layers, upper layer, middle layer, lower layer, and there will not be any mixing of water, and that also lead to a situation which most of the time this oxygen may remain on the upper surface, and the lower layer may not be having any oxygen. So that also lead to death of the fish. So these are some of the important factors in abiotic. Then what we can do is that we have to control the water quality. We should put special equipment so that we will be able to know how much amount of oxygen is present, what is the ammonia content, what is the amount of nitrate, salt content, temperature. All this we should be checking properly, so that the fish may remain in a very good ideal situation, and we will be able to get more fish from a limited area. So there is a aspect of stress management. So here you have to see that one is these are the various abiotic factors, and these are the various biotic factors. Sometimes they will ask you a question, comment on the biotic factors as well as abiotic factors.